my name is Ali, and welcome to my channel. We are back with Hakuoki Kyoto wins Okita's route. Now, I've tried to record this video like 3 separate times, and each time I've made so many errors. But anyway, we'll try again. But, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we left off at a weird point last time. Anyway, if you don't understand it, just watch the end of the last video. Anyway, let's just go. Heisuke must have sensed this as well, so he made no attempt to push the issue any further. I understand what you're saying, but I don't like the fact that you're making us do all the babysitting. I thought you planned on patrolling as well, Hijikata. So, for your own benefit, why don't you show your adorable Paige the ropes by having her with you? What the hell are you talking about? Aren't you the one who pushed her onto me? I'm not having any of your insolence today. She isn't my Paige. Maybe, but all of the lower-ranking men are starting to believe it. There is, after all, a grain of truth in every lie, so why don't you give her a befitting job? As Okita and Hijikata bickered at one another, the mood of the room was locked in their tense words until Harada whispered to me. Well, Kyoto, as you've seen, isn't the safest place right now, so don't force yourself to leave. I mean, we all know what Kyoto looks like, too, so the risk doesn't have to be yours alone. I could look for my father in Fushimi, or join the patrol rounds assuming he's moved places, or stay here to keep safe from the outside, or accompany Hijikata as his page. I got a hiccup. Jeez. What should I do? To be with our Okita, we are going to stay behind in the headquarters. Although my goal was to discover the whereabouts of my father, I wasn't completely sure that I was welcome to join the expedition, nor was safety assured. I appreciate your gesture, but I think I would stay behind today. Huh? Why? You're finally getting the chance to search for Kyoto. True. But I have to understand my place here, and it's not sure he's there. More chances will come. Why can't I read? I don't know. Well, if you say so. It seems like your mind is made up, and there's no convincing you, but the choice is yours. And we fade away. And come back. Afterwards, the men deliberated before splitting off to their directives, and I returned to my room. Perhaps I should have gone. Maybe. It would have been better for me to take a risk and learn something. Anything. It felt like an icy dagger was pressed into my chest, piercing my thin flesh with a cold blade. Are you regretting it? If you are, then you should have just gone with them. I think it's supposed to be my person saying that, not Soji, but Okita? I'm not regretting it. I was so ashamed, so I couldn't bear to look into his eyes, but he smiled wryly before continuing while touching my chin. Oh, you gonna touch my chin? Oh, really? You don't regret it at all? Not even if you knew that Hajime and I went out of our way to convince Hijikata? What? His revelation nearly took the air from my lungs. That was the last thing I expected him to say. A little while ago, when they tested my swordsmanship, Saito did make that promise, that they'd advise Hijikata to join their rounds. Did I really waste their kind efforts throwing away their promise to get me out? I'm so sorry. You two worked so hard to convince him, and It was actually Hajime that convinced Hijikata. I just stood behind and nodded lightly. Even so, I'm sorry. When I see Saito later, I need to apologize and give my thanks to him. I can't believe I didn't realize from the start. I feel like I let them down. As I was coming to terms with my decision, Okita stared down upon me blankly. Oh, but keep in mind, Hajime vouched for your swordsmanship and all, but your level of swordsmanship won't be of much help when you experience what rounds are like. Your type of swordsmanship is what we call dojo swordsmanship. Pretty much useless in any real battle. He was ruthless, but his criticism was spot on, so I was convinced he was right. You may be able to accompany us, but you'd better keep that Kadachi sheathed. We don't need any recklessness to hold us back. If there's any sign of you becoming an issue, I will not hesitate to put my blade through you. I understand. I nodded in a plaintive manner. Okita said nothing else as he turned his back to me to exit towards the inner court. And we fade away again. As I kick my disc. I forgot that came with music. Chapter 2. Oh, interesting. I don't know why I did that. No news of my father came forth the other day, and somber restlessness took hold of me. Originally, it seemed Hijikata granted me approval to accompany the captain on their rounds through Kyoto to search for my dad. Then he called me in. Excuse me. I saw Okita and Heisuke had been summoned along with me, and I felt a partial sense of relief. It did a little to calm my chattering nerves, and I didn't want to be in a bad spot with Hijikata. You called me? Hijikata seemed to be in a foul mood, so I decided it was best to act with tact in his presence. I was thinking about the search for Kyoto, but maybe it's best to put a halt to it for now. What? But why? We just started looking for him. Stopping now would surely cause any of our leads to run dry. His words stunned me. How could he back out on this? Hijikata remained deeply composed. We have reports of activity from the Choshu, and they do not bode well for us. It would be highly dangerous for you to be out and about. oh my God, I can't freaking read. Okay. I heard how the warriors of the Choshu domain associate with the Imperial Nationalist Party. For some reason, they find foreigners repulsive, using brute force to prevent any foreign presence. All of their faith is aligned with the emperor. The Shinsengumi, on the other hand, serve the shogun, meaning they are directly opposed. If the Choshu is active, it could mean that my own goal is of little concern to the Shinsengumi. I might become something of a burden to them. So, are you asking me to refrain from joining the rounds until things in the Choshu domain settle? Hijikata nodded and turned towards the two men. That being said, as of right now, she is not to accompany any rounds with any captains.
Oh, I get it now. That's why you pulled us in here, right?
Heisuke seemed 2 steps behind Hijikata's words, until this very moment where it seemed to click.
You know, she never caused any trouble during any rounds she joined us in. I kind of feel like it shouldn't be a problem if she tagged along.
Yeah, even if something were to happen, as long as she doesn't get involved, it should be fine. I mean, it's not like she can run away from us if things get sticky, right? I won't run. I knew he wasn't being serious, but I couldn't stand to keep my mouth shut. I made up my mind the minute the men of the Shinsengumi agreed to help me find my father. I made a vow to never run from the Shinsengumi for as long as they helped me find my father. My desire to find my father showed no signs of slowing, even since I first arrived in Kyoto. I will keep my vow. So please, please allow me to continue looking for my father. I bowed to Okita, keeping my eyes locked with his. His smirk, however, shrunk slowly as he gazed towards me, caught in between words to say. If you stay with us, you're putting yourself at risk. If you want that risk, feel free to join us. I mean, we have witness reports that fit the profile and description of Kyoto. You may have a point, but are witness reports enough justification to put her in harm's way? What if you're wrong? What if she's exposed? Do none of you understand? You're placing an unnecessary burden on yourselves. I promise I won't cause any trouble. Please. If I lose this opportunity to search for my father, then the chances of finding him will sink. Jeez, I got hiccup again, my god. I lied prostrate before him, and Hijikata simply sighed heavily. You'd better follow the orders of every captain you join. No ifs, ands, or buts, am I clear? Yes, of course. Thank you so much. I didn't know how else to show my gratitude, so I bowed deeply again. I'm leaving it to your discretion over whether or not you're going to join them. That's on you. All right. I had to make sure that this was the best decision. There was something in his demeanor that made me unsure of my desire to leave the compound. Still, if I was with Hijikata or Heitsuke, I'm sure I'd be safe and well protected. On the other hand, my presence could be an undue burden to them. What was I to do? We are going to leave and search for my father. Huh? It feels like there are more people walking around than usual. The streets of Kyoto were packed with people, shuffling into the shops and businesses all over. Chizuru, mind yourself. Try not to wander off or something. Remember that you're here to keep me company on rounds. Sorry, I was distracted by all of the people. The city is filled with so much more cheer. I guess I just couldn't help myself. Okita's eyes twinkled, and he smiled voraciously, and I could sense him relax. Well, the Gaion, I guess? The Gaion festivals. Ow! I hit my heel on my chair. That hurt. Okay, sorry. Well, the Gaion festival's coming up. Things are more lively than usual. I'll give you that. Oh, let's look it up first. Oh, let's read this and then we'll look it up. Of course, some of those nationalist Ronin are acting pretty suspicious too. What I'm saying is, watch yourself, all right? Okay, let's see, which one was this one? Which is the Gaion Festival, I guess? One of Kyoto's signature festivals. It is held in June. One of the red light districts in Kyoto. Of course it is. Okay, oh, I didn't even notice there was one here. Loyalism. A term for the philosophical and political leanings of those who wanted to remove foreign influences from Japan. Oh, okay. Okay. That was quick. We walked down Kyoto's largest street, holy crap, if I can read, alongside the First Division. No one came within a few yards of us. They stepped away the moment their eyes caught the bright blue of the Shinsenkumi's jacket. Oh, of course, that was a weird area to move. I noticed this phenomenon briefly when I first joined the Shinsengumi on their rounds, but it was clear the people of Kyoto feared them. Excuse me. I paused every so often to ask some of the less intimidated passerby if they'd seen my father. I'm looking for someone. He's in his 40s and speaks with an Edo accent. He's a doctor, and he's a friendly, bald man. After a few hours of searching, I met someone who claimed to see a man matching my description.
Oh, yeah. I think I might have seen that guy a while back over at Masu's.
As he spoke, he pointed towards a store selling wood and charcoal. Thank you so much. Okita caught my eye and gave me a stern look. He looked as if he was going to reprimand me when...
You there, are you Ronin? Give us the name of your lord, if indeed you even serve him. Serve one, sorry.
The cry came from a Shinsengumi soldier, and Okita turned, his lips tightening in a thin line. Well, shit. I guess they would choose the worst possible time to stir up trouble, eh? His hand dropped to his sword as he ran toward the commotion. Townsfolk shrieked and ran like leaves before a gale. Whoa! In a sudden press of fleeing citizens, I found myself pulled away from Okita. For a moment I panicked, but realized that perhaps it was best if I stayed close. He would have been forced to keep attention on me. I hoped to avoid distracting him. I hid in an alley to watch, and I could return to the first division once the tension simmered.
Hey, kid, come over here. You don't want to get yourself caught up in that.
Huh? I paused for a moment. A strange man was inviting me into his store. Okay. That seems a little suspicious, but I don't know. Not strange on the face of it, perhaps, but I was warned many, many times to be on my guard. My God, I'm having issues reading today, and I think the last time, too. I was about to politely refuse when I realized it was the store to which the man pointed earlier. Excuse me, but is this Masu's?
Yes, it is.
Great. You see, I'm looking for someone and...
Mr. Kaiman? Kaiman? I just saw the kid with Okita and the Shinsengumi captain.
What? Huh? I'm not of the Shinsengumi.
The Shinsengumi! Run for it!
No, it's not like that. I'm just looking for someone. Even if I had been walking with them, the reaction of the store's customers seemed excessive. You really have the worst luck, don't you? Still, I guess you could say the same about them or me. He gave a small unconcerned shrug and leapt through the door of the shop. Masu's exploded with the clang of blades, men swearing and scrambling across furniture. What is the meaning of this? What on earth just happened? Ah! When we returned to the Shinsengumi headquarters, Sanan had a number of less than pleasant words. He kneeled for some time as the colonel berated us, before Okita finally spoke up. You don't need to lose your head over it, Sanan. After all, we arrested a couple of Choshu people. When the fight was over, we discovered a massive arm cache and confiscated the entire thing. Interesting. No one bothered to explain to me what was happening. However, and I was utterly lost. Not something to lose my head over. But my head is right where it belongs, Okita. Perhaps you should inquire after yours. The man claiming to be Kaiman Masu was, in truth, Shunataro Furutaka, whoever it is, a Choshu spy. Terrible with words. Oh my god. A merchant who sells firewood and charcoal. It was actually a cover identity for Shuntaru Furutaka while operating in Kyoto. A nationalist Ronin who was a spy for the Choshu when they were banned from entering Kyoto. He was responsible for gathering weapons and information. I'm actually going to let you guys go here. I got a hiccup. And it didn't show up. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying. I do apologize for all the flub ups in this episode, but I'm sorry I flub up a lot. If you don't like it, well, sorry. Bye. Anyway, I hope you are enjoying and see you next one. Bye.